The night at Heartland Ranch felt different. The wind carried more than just a whisper of the horses, it carried questions. After the storm that ended episode 2, Amy stood in silence, watching the light fade over the hills. Something had changed in her eyes, a mix of strength and sorrow that fans can't stop talking about. Was it the moment she realized she might lose more than she's already lost? Or was it the calm before another emotional storm? The camera lingers on the open field, the one that has seen joy, heartbreak, and every story that keeps Heartland alive. Jack's words echo from the last episode. Sometimes healing means letting go, but what if Amy isn't ready to? What if episode 3 brings a choice that could change everything for her and the family she's fighting to protect? Heartland has always been about family, love, and the quiet power of second chances. But in this new chapter, it's about the weight of decisions that can't be undone. The horses are restless. The ranch feels heavy. And somewhere deep down, Amy knows the hardest part isn't the storm. It's what comes after. As the music swells softly, a montage plays: Amy walking into the barn, Tim looking out toward the hills, Lou closing her laptop with worry on her face. Each image hints at something coming, something that's been building since the very first episode of season 19. Episode 3 isn't just another story. It's the turning point. The one where secrets will test loyalty, and where silence might speak louder than words. So what happens next? What truth is waiting to surface beneath the calm skies of Hudson? One thing's for sure: when Heartland returns with episode 3, the ranch won't feel the same again. Episode 2 of Heartland season 19 left fans holding their breath. It was one of those episodes that didn't need explosions or loud moments. It was quiet, but powerful. It showed that sometimes silence can break you more than words ever could. Amy spent most of the episode facing her past, not through flashbacks, but through the faces around her. Every conversation, every pause, felt like she was carrying something she couldn't say out loud. The episode opened with the morning at the ranch, calm and golden, yet something felt off. The horses seemed unsettled, the air heavy. Amy tried to hide her emotions behind her work, training a new horse that reminded her too much of Spartan: strong, wild, and a little broken. Every time the camera focused on her, it was as if she was trying to fix the horse just to avoid fixing herself. That's what makes Amy so human. She heals others before she lets herself heal. Meanwhile, Jack noticed. He always does. His quiet concern spoke volumes, and his conversation with Tim revealed the cracks forming in their family's peace. Tim, as stubborn as ever, pushed everyone away, trying to prove he was still strong, even when guilt and anger were eating him alive. His words to Jack in the barn still echo in fans' minds. You can't protect everyone forever, Jack. Sometimes they have to fall. Those words carried more truth than Tim wanted to admit. Lou, juggling her responsibilities between work and family, struggled with feeling absent from the people she loves most. There was a moment, short but deep, when she looked out at the ranch from her office window, her reflection overlapping with the land she grew up on. It was symbolic, showing how much she's torn between her two worlds. And then came the moment that changed everything, the one that set the stage for episode 3. Amy received unexpected news. It wasn't loud or dramatic, just a quiet message, a folded letter, a look that froze her heart for a second. The camera didn't reveal what it said, but her eyes did. That's the magic of Heartland. It lets the silence tell the story. As episode 2 ended, the family gathered at the table for dinner. The sunset outside painted the sky in soft orange and gold, but the warmth didn't reach their hearts. Jack tried to lighten the mood. Lou smiled for everyone else, and Amy pretended she was fine. But deep down, something was shifting, a storm not of weather, but of emotions. Now, as episode 3 approaches, fans can feel it. Something big is coming. The kind of change that doesn't just test the characters, but reminds us why we love this show. Because it mirrors life. It's about family, love, loss, and the courage to start again. The sun rises slowly over Heartland Ranch, painting the sky in soft gold and pink, but beauty can't hide the tension that's growing beneath it. Episode 3 is shaping up to be the one where unspoken truths finally find their voice. It's that kind of episode, quiet, yet full of weight. The kind that makes you hold your breath without even realizing it. After the final moments of episode 2, Amy stands at a crossroads. The letter she received still lingers in her thoughts, the kind that changes the way you see everything around you. Her eyes say it all: confusion, fear, and a spark of hope that refuses to die. Episode 3 will dig deeper into that moment, slowly revealing what this message truly means for her and the people she loves. But as every Heartland fan knows, the answers never come easy. The preview hints at a shift not just in Amy's story, but in the heart of the ranch itself. The horses seem restless, as if they can feel the change coming. Amy's connection to them grows stronger, almost spiritual, but even that bond can't protect her from the emotional storm ahead. There's a new horse, fierce and wild one, that mirrors Amy's own struggle. Training it might become more than a challenge. It could become a mirror for her own healing. Jack, meanwhile, carries his quiet wisdom like always, but even he looks troubled. The ranch has been through so much, yet this feels different. There's a moment, a brief one, where he looks across the fields, and his expression says more than words ever could. It's the look of a man who senses something slipping away, something he can't control. Episode 3 will test Jack's calm and his faith in the family's strength more than ever before. And then there's Tim. Proud, headstrong Tim, a man who hides his pain behind anger. The trailer teases a scene between him and Amy, raw and emotional. Their words aren't sharp, but their silence is louder than a fight. Fans are already wondering if this is the episode where Tim finally opens up, or if his pride will push him further from the people who care about him most. Lou's journey takes a quieter path. Her life in the city continues to pull her away from the ranch, but she can't ignore the feeling that something is about to change back home. A single phone call, a distant voice, might bring her rushing back, not just to Heartland, but to the family that still needs her. Episode 3 isn't about grand events or new faces, it's about the storm brewing inside every character. It's about how people hold on to love when the past refuses to let go. As the music rises and the wind sweeps across the fields, one thing becomes clear. This episode will remind everyone why Heartland has lasted this long. It's not just a story about horses or the ranch, it's about the TIs that make us human. When episode 3 arrives, expect quiet heartbreaks, tender moments, and one decision that could shape the rest of the season. Every glance, every pause, every sunset will matter. Because at Heartland, even the smallest moment can change everything. Every Heartland episode finds its heartbeat in the people who live on the ranch, and episode 3 will be no different. This time, it's not about what happens outside, but what's quietly changing within each of them. The family's strength has always come from standing together, but in this episode, we'll see what happens when standing together starts to feel impossible. For Amy, this episode becomes a mirror. The wild horse she's trying to tame seems to understand her pain better than anyone else. It's frightened, angry, and doesn't trust easily, just like Amy. As she works with it, the audience will see her struggle to face her own emotions. There's a moment teased in the preview, a simple one, where she reaches out her hand, and the horse finally stops fighting. It's more than training, it's healing. And it tells us that Amy's journey this season isn't just about saving others anymore, it's about finding herself again. Jack's story carries quiet weight. He's the foundation of Heartland, the man who keeps everyone grounded. But lately, even he's starting to feel the cracks. There's a scene where he sits alone on the porch, watching the horizon, holding his old hat in his hands. He doesn't say a word, he doesn't need to. You can feel his worry for Amy, his frustration with Tim, and his fear of what the family could lose if things keep falling apart. Jack knows more than anyone that time changes everything, and episode 3 might be when he finally admits that he can't hold it all together forever. Tim, on the other hand, continues his inner battle. His tough exterior hides guilt and regret that he won't talk about, but this episode might finally force him to face it. Fans have seen flashes of his softer side, the one that wants to make things right, but pride always gets in the way. There's talk of a scene where he revisits a place tied to his past, a place that brings back memories he's tried to bury. Whether he finds peace or pushes people further away will define not just this episode, but his entire arc this season. Then there's Lou, the glue that tries to hold everyone together even from miles away. Her story this episode might seem smaller, but it's deeply emotional. A phone call, a few words from home, will remind her that no matter how far she goes, part of her still belongs to Heartland. Her challenge has always been balance the pull between her dreams and her duty. Episode 3 may be the moment she realizes that sometimes you can't have both. And finally, there's the younger generation, Katie and Lindy, often in the background, but always representing hope. They remind us that Heartland's story isn't just about loss. It's about growth. There's an innocence in their scenes that softens the heavier emotions, reminding viewers why this ranch means so much to everyone who calls it home. Episode 3 will bring these threads together, each character facing something that tests their heart. It's not about who's right or wrong, but about learning to listen, forgive, and move forward. Because at the end of the day, Heartland has never been about perfection. It's about people trying their best to love each other. Even when life gets in the way, the magic of Heartland has never come from flashy effects. It's always lived in the small moments, the kind you can feel without needing to see a single face. Episode 3 should carry that same quiet power. Every frame, every sound, should whisper the emotions the characters can't say out loud. The visuals must move like the rhythm of the ranch, slow, graceful, and full of meaning. The episode opens in the early light of dawn. Mist drifts over the hills, and the golden rays of the sun stretch across the stables. Dust floats gently in the air as a horse exhales, its breath visible in the cool morning. These opening shots set the mood, peaceful but heavy, calm but uncertain. The camera lingers on the stillness, making viewers feel the calm before something changes. This isn't just scenery, it's emotion painted through nature. As the day unfolds, the visuals should mirror the characters' inner worlds. When Amy is training the horse, show the wind tugging at her hair, the sand rising under the horse's hooves, and the sound of her heartbeat blending with the rustle of the fields. Use light as emotion, warm tones when she feels hope, shadows when doubt takes over. No words are needed. The audience will understand everything through rhythm and silence. Jack's moments should feel nostalgic and grounded. Use shots of weathered wood, old tools, and sunlight streaming through the barn doors. Every detail should remind viewers that Jack represents the soul of Heartland: time, patience, and quiet strength. When he sits alone, show the slow creak of his chair, the flicker of light across his face, and the faint sound of distant horses, all symbols of a man reflecting on years gone by. For Tim, the visuals should feel sharper, more restless. The camera can move quicker, following his heavy steps or the tension in his hands. The sound design should pick up every small noise: boots scraping the dirt, a door slamming, a horse neighing in the distance. These small cues will build his emotional storm without a single spoken word. The world around him feels alive, but unsettled. Just like him, Lou's scenes should feel distant and muted. Show her in spaces that are too clean, too quiet: her office light buzzing softly, her phone lighting up with a message from home. Use glass reflections, showing her face overlapping with images of Heartland, symbolizing how her heart is split between two worlds. Even the silence in her scenes should feel emotional, like she's one thought away from breaking. Throughout the episode, the music should weave through the story like wind through tall grass, soft piano, distant guitar strings, or even the gentle sound of rain on the roof. Avoid dramatic cues. Let the melody breathe. The goal is to make the audience feel rather than hear the emotion. Finally, the tone of episode 3 should balance between warmth and tension. It's not about tragedy or happiness, it's about the space in between, where love and pain coexist. Every scene, whether it's a sunrise or a simple glance, should remind the viewer of one truth: life at Heartland moves slowly, but every moment matters. The visuals must leave the viewer with a feeling, not just understanding the story, but carrying it. The horses, the open fields, the sound of wind through the trees, these become the silent storytellers. Because in Heartland, it's never been about what's said, it's about what's felt. The day ends quietly at Heartland. The sky burns with shades of orange and deep red as the sun dips below the hills. The ranch is silent, but it's not the silence of peace, it's the silence that holds stories. The kind that speaks louder than words. You can almost hear the whisper of the wind against the fences, the soft rustle of the horses settling in for the night. And somewhere in that fading light, Amy stands alone, her thoughts as heavy as the sky above her. Episode 3 feels like the kind of story that doesn't end when the credits roll. It stays with you like the echo of a memory, or the shadow of a feeling you can't name. Every decision made in this episode will ripple through the rest of the season. Every look, every pause will matter. Because Heartland isn't just telling another story, it's building towards something deeper, something that could redefine the family's bond once again. Amy's journey is far from over. The letter she found in episode 2 will finally begin to reveal its meaning, and with it, the truth about what's been haunting her. But as always, Heartland doesn't rush its answers. It lets them unfold slowly, naturally, just like life. The preview hints at a moment of confrontation, one that could either heal old wounds or open new ones. And as Amy steps into the stables one last time, her hand brushing the horse's mane, it's clear she's not just training it, she's learning to trust herself again. Jack's wisdom will carry the weight of the family, but even he may face a truth he's not ready to accept. Change is coming, the kind that even he can't stop. His words to Amy might become the emotional center of the episode, a reminder that strength isn't about holding on, but knowing when to let go. Tim's storyline might finally reach its breaking point. The choices he makes in episode 3 could define his relationship with the people he loves most. Will he let pride win again, or will he find the courage to apologize? Fans will feel that tension with every scene, because Heartland knows how to turn even silence into storytelling. Lou's distance from the ranch might finally close. The episode's emotional current will pull her home, not just physically, but emotionally. One message, one call, one familiar voice might remind her where her heart truly belongs. It's a quiet moment that will speak volumes about family and forgiveness. The visuals should fade softly, a wide shot of the ranch under the twilight sky, the horses resting, the wind brushing over the grass. Then, a voice calm but full of emotion asks the question that will stay with the audience long after the video ends. When life keeps testing you, how do you know when it's time to fight? And when it's time to let go? A slow fade to black. The words appear on screen. Heartland Season 19 Episode 3 coming soon. Then, the music swells one last time, hopeful yet haunting, and as it fades, the narrator's voice returns, soft and steady. If you love Heartland as much as we do, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this unforgettable journey. Every episode is a story, and every story brings us closer to home. The screen lingers on the image of the ranch at night, still, peaceful, timeless. Because even when the lights fade, Heartland lives on in the hearts of everyone who's ever watched it.